The Natural History Museum is in the London Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, and sits on both Cromwell Road and Exhibition Road, where there are several other major national museums. The museum is huge and houses a number of exhibits which span across various parts of planet Earth's natural history, including botany, i.e. plants, entomology, i.e. insects, mineralogy, palaeontology, i.e. dinosaurs, and zoology, i.e. the animal kingdom. The museum is a center of research, identification, and conservation, and many of its exhibits are of great historic and scientific value.
History.
The main building as we see it today was constructed over the 1870s and came about because the original natural history departments of the British Museum were too limited in space. The architecture is a London landmark and is built in Romanesque style and is clad inside and out with sculpted terracotta. It was originally supposed to be even bigger, but was downscaled to save on dosh. As the museum was still officially a part of the British Museum, it officially went by the name as the British Museum of Natural History, all the way until 1992. In 1976, the adjacent Geological Museum was absorbed into it, which is where the mineralogy display sits today. In the early 2000s, the Darwin Centre opened in the museum, which houses zoology, entomology, and botanicals, as well as laboratories for staff. The Attenborough studio was also opened with the Darwin Centre to communicate the importance of conservation.
Today,
the museum is made up of several buildings and zones, which all follow their own themes. The red zone themes the changing natural history of Earth, the green zone, evolution, the blue zone, diversity of life on Earth, and the orange zone, science at work. Some of the most valuable pieces of the collection include an iron meteorite weighing 600 kilograms, one of the world's largest cubic gold crystals, the world's largest blue topaz gemstone weighing 2 kilograms with over 9,000 carats, the first ever discovered iguanodon tooth, the first specimen of the oldest known bird, one of only 12 in the world, a dodo, the only surviving specimen of the great auk, a penguin-y type looking bird but not a penguin, a skull of a type of subspecies of human, as well as 2 Neanderthal skulls, a copy of the Birds of America, and a first edition by Charles Darwin. The Natural History Museum library contains rare books, journals, manuscripts, and artwork collections linked to the work and research of the scientific departments. Access to the library is by appointment only. The Attenborough studio, in collaboration with the BBC, holds the largest archive of natural history footage. The studio also hosts regular events, lectures, and demonstrations, as well as live-streamed talks every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like many of the national museums in the United Kingdom, the Natural History Museum does not charge an entry fee. The museum is a public body, sponsored by the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport. Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, is patron of the museum. The museum also hosts a number of social events. If you're visiting around Christmas time, the museum is even complete with an ice rink. They also host yoga in the Hinser Hall, storytelling for babies, pottery classes, felt floristry, lectures over drinks, adult sleepovers complete with live harpist or all-night movie marathon, and they even host silent raves.
what's around?
The Natural History Museum sits next to the Science Museum and opposite the Victoria and Albert Museum, all of which are completely free. It is also a short walk away from the Royal Albert Hall, Hyde Park and Knightsbridge, where you'll find Harrods and Harvey Nicks. The museum also backs onto Imperial College and looks over the Lycée Français. The closest stations are Gloucester Road Station and South Kensington Station, where there are a ton of restaurants with alfresco dining. Entry to the museum won't cost you a penny, and it's open from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. There are cloakrooms for possessions and luggage, and the museum offers free support for the deaf, blind, visually impaired, and wheelchair users.